And actually in the email he said, "How much do you know about Twitter ads?" To which I replied, "Nothing." Today I'm on my way to see a franchise, a UK-wide franchise in the automotive sector, actually a global franchise as well. And I'll be meeting their marketing manager, and he has a very specific brief for me today. He sent me an email saying, "I would like to increase the number of inquiries we send out to our franchisees from central office. I want to help them, and I believe social media is the way to do it. Can you come and meet me and discuss strategies?" Well, that's going to be an interesting meeting today because I've met this chap before and he knows more than me about social media. But he's quite open about it. He says, "When you come along, you make me focus, we come up with ideas together and we swap experience." In digital marketing, everybody's doing it slightly differently. There is no manual, there is no training course that is the same, okay? And so we're basically getting together and swapping our minds. And out of that, hopefully he will benefit, but I will learn some stuff too. Okay, I've left the franchise company and we did talk about social media in the main for about 3 hours, and I'll just go through the key points really, which is first, he asked me to come and talk about Twitter ads, and actually in the email he said, "How much do you know about Twitter ads?" To which I replied, "Nothing." Pretty much. They're only been out recently. More importantly, I don't know any businesses who use them. So in terms of actual engagement, nothing. So tell you what though, when I do come and see you, I will know about them because I'll set one up. So that's what I did. There is no training manual for social media. The way you learn is you try stuff and see if it works and learn bits and look for the window of opportunity, okay? So if you take Twitter as a massive thing, loads of data, all the rest of it, what I am looking for, and what I would argue most businesses should look for, is the opportunity. And with Twitter ads, it is this. My goodness me, have they introduced something scary. I'm going to talk about Facebook ads as a comparison first. On Facebook, I can quite cost effectively, I mean it is fairly cheap Facebook ads compared to other forms of advertising. I can go onto Facebook ads, set up an account, and within 10 minutes be showing an advert, a post, or a page, you know, whatever it might be, to an audience of my choosing. This is not advertising, right? Not in the traditional form. This is a very narrow channel to a niche group of customers. So if I wanted to, let's say I was selling consultancy, I could say, right, 20-mile radius of Bristol, just show my ad to people who are located there. It knows. I'd say, show my ad to people who've shown an interest in, I don't know, marketing. Specifically, we'll say social media marketing. Specifically, Twitter ads. Really, it can be that specific, right? And then I'm just showing my paid ad, people in a certain area who have looked at or liked content to do with this topic. At that point I say, reduce it further. Reduce the audience to people who are age 30 and above, because whilst there are successful business people who are younger than 30, you know, by the time you get to 35, 40, in theory, you should have a bigger percentage of businesses that are still trading, or are trading. So my audience is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And why that is a good thing is, I don't want to spend a lot of money. And so if I buy a Facebook ad, which typically will cost me, what would it cost me? If I did a £400 campaign, typically that would get me 1,000 likes onto my Facebook page, okay? Around that. It's about 40p a like. Depends what sector you're in, but I think we're in a competitive sector. It would cost you £400 for 1,000 new people following your Facebook page. That's not a bad thing, because I can communicate on Facebook and they'll see updates, some of them. You know, Facebook changing the rules all the time. It's worth doing, because I just show my ad to people who are in the target group, niche group, and they respond more times. The response rate is higher because there's no, what's the word, deadwood. I don't spend money advertised to people who aren't in the target market. So that is Facebook ads, kind of, if you want to go and have a look, type Facebook ads into Google and you can learn all about it. We know lots of businesses who make money using Facebook ads. We know one £500,000 company who that's all they do. They don't have a marketing strategy. That's all they do. Facebook ads. Why am I telling you that? Twitter just took that and ran with it massive. I mean, they basically looked at that and went, hang on, I can see how Facebook makes money. They're using their, what's the word? Facebook data, people's data, their behaviour, what they said about themselves, what they've looked at, and recently, real time, right? And created the most amazing marketing database. We better do something better than that. So they have, on the face of it. The first thing caught my eye looking at setting up a Twitter ad. Yes, you could do location. Yes, you could do demographic. Whatever you tell Twitter, it knows about you. And it is still monitoring what you do. If you're looking at accounts and content, it knows. It's measuring it. Which means I can show my ad to a certain demographic again. But then they see this great box that says, add user accounts. Or something like that. I think, what's that? And if I understood it correctly, and I know I did, because I just went into a meeting with a social media fellow, what's the word? Geek. And I hope he's not offended by me calling him a geek, I'm sure he isn't. And said, this is how it looked to me. It looked like this. I can put in a competitor's Twitter account, at competitor name, or 5 or 6, and it will just show my ad on Twitter to their followers and anyone who's looked at their content. Is that right? He's like, yeah, that's how I read it. And he'd done something slightly different. He'd actually looked at it from a less mercenary perspective. He'd looked at it as, I can put some customer accounts in, I can speak to them and try and sell them something. Right? As in businesses. My thinking on it immediately, in a nice way, in a cuddly way, obviously, was, wow, I can put in the Twitter name of all my competitors, and all their customers who are looking at their content on Twitter will now see my ad. And I'm going to take their customers. Well, it doesn't get more aggressive than that, but more importantly, you can't do that on Facebook. I don't think you can. It's quite restrictive about what you can ask it to do when you go to the interests and behaviours. Not on Twitter. They're just type your competitor's name in this box. They didn't word it this way, I've elaborated, and we'll show your ad just to them. Well, why would you not do that if you sell products? And it's a no-brainer on the face of it. Then we get into reality. I said, well, I ran my ad. I don't really have much data yet. What about you? And he said, I've run a few. They don't work very well. What do you mean? And he's like, Facebook ads work brilliantly. And he showed me an example of a video he'd uploaded with, I think it was 1,600 views, of which 200 people watched the video from start to end. That's amazing statistics, really, for click through and watch all the way. It measures how long they watch, right? So I did something similar on Twitter, and I got 16,000 views. We use the word view very loosely. I'll tell you why. Views, and I got 4 clicks to the website. Oh, okay. Well, and then we sort of stop and think, which of course is what you do, and you go, why would that be? And even though I have this wonderful tailored data, real time, that I can communicate with you exactly in my market, unfortunately, Twitter is a fleeting moment in time. Twitter is a top-down platform. Facebook, my message, my ad, hangs around a bit longer. You are looking at your stuff you're interested in. The wall has your friends on. The wall has businesses you like on, brands. You open up Facebook and you are scrolling up and down looking at updates. But my ad's in the update, so you'll probably see it 3 or 4 times in the scroll down up, right? This is our theory. So you have more chance of engaging. With Twitter, you log on to Twitter and it shows, bang, there's the ad. Well, then more tweets come and I'm pushed down and down and down and down and down. You didn't even see it. Not really. Not enough. And so, whilst I love the idea of being able to show an ad just to your group of competitors and all their followers and people who viewed their content, I think that's something unprecedented in business marketing. It does not really help that my ad shoots down the page and you don't really see it. But I would still do it. If that was me, and we don't have that context, right? We don't have competitors like that. We're not looking for work in that way. But if I see anybody selling consumer products in the future, I will be raising Twitter ads, and I will be telling them that you can actually now smash right into their consumer group, their customer group, their followers, and say, look at me. Buy this product instead. Which means your ad says what's good about yours and what's not so great about theirs. Okay. We talked about loads of other stuff, Instagram and and Google Plus changing and becoming less important, theory and Facebook. But for the purpose of this video, Twitter ads in theory, and I'd be interested to know what you think if you try one. I'm coming right into the competitors' pool of people, and you could never have done that before, not real time. If I show my ad to people who want the product, they buy it from me, not you. Worth a go.